Hello, checking in here on day 2 of Alloy here at the Experimental Sound Studio in Chicago. Today I was able to set up a lot faster and basically do a little shopping and come up with some things that I want to maybe mess with and figure out what could work, what could not in between the strings of the piano, see what would work. One of the things is balloons, really fun. If they don't work, I can just play with them. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm thinking like there could be something there with crumpling it up or what degree of air is in there, and messing with that, seeing what could be possible. Not sure though if that will work. We'll see. And then I got some beads of different colors. They're all the same, but they have different colors. Yeah, and I want to see what kind of sounds they can make if they bounce around while being sort of tucked onto a screw or a bolt. Then I also got these permanent or semi-permanent straws, and I'm going to put those in between the strings, probably cut them up into smaller lengths too, maybe do some wrapping or lodging them in different ways and see what I can come up with there, utilizing the length or making them really small little chunks of straw, of silicone. And then I also have various types of washers, brass washers, zinc washers, and each of these will be nested over screws and bolts. One that has internal and external teeth for zinc washers. And then finally, I bought these as well to see if these will work. This was from Home Depot, by the way, and the other stuff was from Michael's craft store. So these, I'm curious to see what will happen with these grooves, how that will work when I'm putting them between the strings. And then I'll probably finish off with just doing more of the John Cage sonatas and interludes, full preparation, and play with everything, see what happens. So I tried a lot of different ways of attaching them in different registers. It starts getting more interesting where you have 2 strings per note rather than down here where it's just 1 string per note. And different overtones come out at different times. The next register, similar characteristics. And this is just really funny and stupid. Literally almost no effect. Pony beads. These are really interesting though. So this is with a furniture bolt. And this one's just meh to me, but it's all good. Okay, so here's further experiments with washers, beads, and nuts. But honestly, my favorite is still this bead. Yeah, these are just fun. They look nice and they work well to mute the strings. All right, here just to recap day 2 of Alloy Prepared Piano Project. I think one of the more interesting thing was today experimenting with different objects inside, here tucked into the same kind of bolt, and seeing what different nuts sounded like, different metals, different like washers versus nuts versus a bead. And I found the bead to be like really interesting, really great sound, really versatile, surprisingly so. Just made of plastic, the beads here. Got way too many of them, but I really like the beads. And also did some experiments with balloons. They work pretty well, especially if you clump them really, really good and really, make sure they're nice and tight and dense when tucked in between the strings rather than loose and floppy. And when you fill it with air, it does nothing at all in terms of the sound, but it looks great. And finally, the straws, these reusable straws made of silicone, were really great for just muting the strings. They're very versatile. You could cut them into smaller pieces. It costs about $8 for this, for a pack of 6.
And you can also bend them and make loops. I just made a circle out of one of them. I don't know. But I'm not sure how much over time they will kind of get less rigid and not be as tightly fitting into the holes between the strings, into the gaps between the strings. But that will be something we'll see how the wear and tear is of these over time. And finally, I didn't get to really dig deep yet into this, but I can't wait to do that for the next time. All these little goodies I got from the hardware store. That sums up the day of work. I hope you have a great night and great day whenever you're watching this, and see you next time.